Welcome back, class 9 students. Okay, yesterday we have discussed about solutions, okay, and suspension, and we have seen the properties and examples. Okay, let us start today with colloidal solution. Okay, first we will see colloidal solution. Okay, we are starting chapter 2 part 3 today. Okay, is matter and as pure. Okay, so this I have forgot to tell you. Now colloidal solution, first you take the definition. Okay, then you see discuss a mixture. So colloidal solution is a mixture in which the substances are regularly suspended in a fluid. A colloid is a very tiny and small material that is spread out uniformly all through another substance. Okay, here you see in solution what happens, the particle size is very small and we cannot see by our naked eyes. Okay, and the particles are mixed, means throughout the solution the concentration of the solute is same. Okay, but if you go for suspension, then you have seen that the particle size is bigger in size and we can see by our naked eyes. Okay, the suspension it is bigger in size, but colloid particles are in between solution and the suspension. Okay, it is bigger than the solution but smaller than the suspension. Okay, and that's why we cannot see by our naked eyes. Particles are all through the solutions, they are occupying the space. Okay, and you can say and they are do not settle down whenever you are keeping it undisturbed, as like suspension. In suspension means if you are keeping for undisturbed for a long time, then the solid particles they will settle down in the bottom. Okay, but in colloid solutions, means colloid suspension or solutions, what happens, the particles are do not settle down, they are stable. Okay, example is milk. Milk contain water and cream. Okay, the two things are there, and you cannot means by looking you cannot see the milk particles. Okay, understanding. So I'll give one example to understand, make you understand this. So let us consider there are three type of mixers. Okay, one is solution. Okay, this is solution. The particle size is very small. Okay, so you cannot see by our naked eyes, the particle size is very small and the particles are uniformly distributed. Now next one example you take, that is suspension. Here particle size is bigger. Okay, particle size is bigger in size and it is not stable. Okay, because particles they settle down when you are keeping stable undisturbed. Okay, and here the particle size is bigger and so you can see by our naked eyes. Okay, but there are other type of mixture is there, that is called colloid. So here particle size is bigger than the solution. Okay, but smaller than the suspension. Particle size is bigger than the solution but smaller than the suspension, and that's why we cannot see the particles here in the colloid also, but here the solid particles are, means throughout the mixture it remains. Okay, and it is stable because if you are keeping undisturbed for a long time, the particles will not be dissolved, settled at the bottom, but here it will be settled down in the suspension, and in solution also it will not be settled down. Okay, again see other examples. In a solution, when light passes, the path is not visible, but here the path is visible. Here also the path is visible. That means a colloid and suspension, okay, they scatter beam of light. Okay, Tyndall effect can happen in these two solutions. Okay, so we have seen about the definition of colloid. Now take some of the properties of colloid. Okay, properties of colloid. One number is a colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, a colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, next point is particle size is too small to be seen by our naked eyes. Okay, we cannot see the particles of a colloid, okay, because they are very small, okay. Third number, particles are big enough to scatter a beam of light. So particles are bigger in size, okay, and that's why the light beam can be scattered, okay, means it is the means scattered in different directions, light beams, okay, or you can say the path of the light can be seen, okay. See here again one point. It cannot be separated by filtration process. Okay, if you filter, then you cannot separate solute and solvent, okay. Next one, then what process from we can separate? There is a process centrifugation, okay, that process from we can separate the solute and the solvent, okay. We'll discuss about this in coming chapters, okay. Next property is a colloid is stable. What is this stable means? Stable means whenever you are keeping this colloid for a long time, okay, then the solid particles will not be settled down at the bottom, okay. So that is why the colloid is stable, we say, okay. Separating the components of a mixture. So now we have seen there are mixtures, okay, different type of mixtures are there. So in a mixture, different components are mixed, correct or not? Now there should be some processes, okay, by which you can separate the components of mixture, correct or not? So there are different techniques, okay, different techniques and different processes are there by which you can separate a mixture, okay. So let us consider the first process, that is evaporation process. One is evaporation. So what is this evaporation? We have discussed about before only, yes or no? The process in which we have discussed the definition of evaporation. Now by this process also we can separate the different components of mixture. Okay, like example I am giving. Ink you are getting in market, ink. Okay, that ink from dye is present and water is present. Yes or no? Dye and water. That means color and water are mixed there. Okay, how can you separate their means? How can you separate or take out the dye from the water? Okay, how can you separate? So by the process of evaporation. Okay, how it is? That ink is ink is heated. Okay, when you heat ink, I'm candle drawing here. Okay, when you heat this ink, okay, then the water particles, okay, will be evaporated, will be going to the vapor. Okay, and what will be left after evaporation, and that will be the dye. Okay, so in this process also we can separate dye from the ink. Okay, second process is centrifugation process. Centrifugation process. So we have discussed before. Now just discuss that milk contains water and cream. Okay, so how can you separate cream from milk? Okay, so by the process of centrifugation. So okay, class 9 students, I would like to know whether you are watching or no. Okay, I cannot understand. So I would like to give one question to you. Okay, you do that homework and on the WhatsApp you give me the answer. Okay, the question is, how you can separate, how you can separate kerosene and water. Okay, this is the question I am giving. Okay, so use your mind, okay, and give the answer in my WhatsApp group. Okay, class 9 students. And for today, this much only. Okay, tomorrow we'll go for in details for sanctification process. Okay, and other techniques of separating a mixture. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day.